right. Thanks for coming out tonight. Great opportunity to learn a lot of great things. Great information from Zebulon Thomas there. It's clear to see why, as a life coach, he is successful, teaches a lot of people a lot of good things about how to improve the quality of their life. The thing that I'm going to share with you tonight is really focusing more so on the health and hydration aspect of health and how we can use that to improve the quality of our lives. You know, for 20 years I've been in this industry, and I've enjoyed the opportunity to speak in various different occasions, but over the 20 years, there's inevitably two things that I share in every single event that I do. Number one is I always share a picture of my family. I'm so appreciative. My family supports me in everything that I do. Without my family, I couldn't go out and really do these types of events because I take so much time away from them. But it's because we're delivering a message that's really changing lives. For 20 years, being able to help people find that energy, vitality, improve the quality of their performances or their life, you know, that's very rewarding. But my family staying at home, supporting us in doing that, I always publicly thank my wife, my 3 children, whom I appreciate and love very much. I also share a mission statement. A mission statement is something that we all should have. I personally have a mission statement, which is to enhance and enrich the quality of life for millions of people worldwide, physically, mentally, and financially. Now, often I get people that say, well, I get the mental and the physical side, but why financially? Folks, financial health is one of the most important healths that there are. Often people don't realize that financial depression is debilitating. When people are struggling financially, they have challenges. So anything that we can do to enhance their quality, both financial and physical and emotional, it's a great opportunity. And so the things that I'm going to share with you tonight started back about 20 years ago when I had the opportunity of started to work with the New York Yankees. Really came out of a cold call, had an opportunity of working with them, and that spread from there to various different organizations that I've had the opportunity of working with in one aspect or another over these 20 years. Been able to create some very close friends like Coach Joe Torre. Was able to work with him as we went through his prostate cancer, did a lot of work there, and I'm very proud to say that he is cancer-free as we speak today. But been able to create some good relationships. Now, I share these with you not to say, look what I've done, because it's not about me. It's simply those individuals got a message that has changed their life. I was just fortunate to be the one to deliver that message. No different than you being able to deliver this same information to friends and family members. And that's my real desire tonight, is hopefully provide you with some principles, some guidelines, some new thought processes that allow you to deliver that message that allows others to change their life. Some of the individuals, Maria Sharapova, Kurt Warner, a little bit hard to see there, but Leonard Davis, Tony Raggi. These are a bunch of NFL football players, Major League Baseball players, professional tennis players, Larry Fitzgerald, a couple of all-pro linebackers right there. That opportunity to work with these athletes has been great, and I wouldn't change it for anything, but I can honestly tell you that we are all an athlete on our own field. They are no more important than you sitting in this room here tonight. They just play on a different field, or maybe you play on a different field. Their performance is no more important than your performance as a housewife, or as a professional working in an office, or as a mom, or whatever it is. We all have our own fields that we play on. And if I have the opportunity to provide information and a message that allow you and me and others to improve our performance on whatever field it is, that to me is what it's all about. And we work on those things together. You know, there are pieces of this puzzle. I refer to health care, the true quality of life, as this puzzle. And as we all know, each puzzle has various different pieces. And if you're missing a couple of those pieces, if it's just 2 or 3 or 4, you don't get full appreciation for what the picture brings. You can't understand, you can't get a clear appreciation for the beauty that that picture has. And that's like our health. If we're missing just as little as 1 or 2 pieces of that puzzle, we're not going to be able to enjoy or appreciate health for what it really has to offer us. So the things that we're going to talk about tonight, I mean, there are various different pieces of that puzzle, like clean air and exercise and good sleep and things like that. But tonight we're going to focus on two things. We're going to focus on water or hydration, and we're going to focus on the nutrition and supplementation side. Things that we can do to find those pieces of our puzzle if that might be something that you're missing. I know that it was missing to me because being in this industry for 20 years, it was only 3 years ago that I really found out that the type of water that I am drinking makes a huge difference or impact on my quality of life. I always thought water was water. I mean, as long as we're drinking enough of it, we're good. That couldn't have been further from the truth. I realized some real important aspects, and what I want to share with you tonight, I'm going to focus on two different aspects of a water that's available to us that is much different than the water that most all of us have access to. We're going to talk first about the antioxidant properties and how we can antioxidize. I'm going to share that with you. And then also the alkalinity, how we can actually make our body more alkaline. See, it's been proven time and time and time again, based upon research, that an acidic tissue is more susceptible to disease, sickness, illnesses, and things like cancer. An alkaline tissue, on the other hand, it's almost impossible to have cancer-type situations. Yeah. No, it's easy for me, but it's not as easy for you without the video up there. But let me go back to the things that we're going to talk about are really the antioxidizing potentials of the types of water that we have access to, and then the alkalinity. Two aspects that I didn't realize can really change in the waters that we have access to. And to do that, I'm going to give you a little demonstration. I'm going to walk over here. In fact, if you want to come up a little bit closer, you can see it a lot better. I'm going to set this down here. We've got various different waters that are passed out here. And we don't have the diagram up here now. So what I'm going to, you're just going to have to trust me on this, okay? We want water that is, number one, antioxidizing, okay? And the only way that we can take water and make it antioxidizing is to change the actual ionic structure of that water. And we have a technology that actually runs the water through and over these titanium plates, changing that positive or negative ions. That can also make the water's pH change. Let me ask you a question. Who can tell me how much of the water or of our body is made up of water? Anybody? 80%. 80%. Good job. Okay, so if 80% of our body is made up of water, how much or what percentage of the body must be made up from the foods that we eat? If 80% is water, 20%. Simple math, right? Okay, so if 20% is the foods that we eat and 80% of it is the water we drink or the liquids we drink, are we maybe in America today missing the focus? Are we focusing more on nutrition and supplementation in America today, or is there more focus on water? There's more focus on nutrition. There's more dietitians, more fitness centers, more experts, more fitness clinics, more diet centers than ever before in history. You open up any magazine and they're always advertising nutrients, consumption. Maybe we missed it. Maybe the aspect that we really need to be taking a look at is that largest component of the body. So when that was posed to me, I looked at that and I said, okay, that makes sense, but I keep my body hydrated. What I didn't realize was that almost every single bottled water or sports drink, bottled water, okay, everything that we consume is highly acidic. I didn't know that. I assumed that water was water. Do you all agree with me? Thought maybe that water is just water? Okay, that was my thought process. Well, what we have is we have some what are called pH drops. These are drops that we would all use to test our pH of our pool, nothing different. And with the pH of the pool, you want to make sure that your pool is in an alkaline environment, because if it's an acidic environment, what begins to grow in the pool? Algae. Okay? So if we are so concerned about making sure the water in our pool is acidic, alkaline. Don't you think maybe that's something we ought to take a look at here? Okay, anything, as we drop a few drops in each one of these, anything that is orange, yellow, slightly green, or pink like this one right here, that shows how acidic. What we really want is more on the purple side, because purple, this is tap water right here. I think I got oregano stuck in my throat right now. Okay, we got tap water right there. And then over here on the very end, we have what's called alkaline water. Now, as you can see, the one on the very end is the only one that is at all purple. Everything else is pink, yellow, orange, green, and this one was tap water. So from a pH standpoint, all of these are extremely acidic. Tap water is neutral. So from the pH standpoint, you would think, well, does that mean tap water is healthier for us? Not necessarily, because each and every municipality is required by government to make sure that the water that comes out of the tap is not acidic, because it eats the pipes. That acidic water literally deteriorates the pipes. If that water deteriorates the pipes, what about our pipes? Okay, that may be more important. What we want is an alkaline water. Can you bring up just a little bit of some alkaline water? We're going to need some of it to show in here. One of the things that we can do, a small amount of true alkaline water, and it doesn't really take all that much to change an acidic starting to neutralize it, okay? And that's what we want. We want them to get closer and closer and closer to that purple side. This, just exactly as Zebulon was talking about, is an alkaline-based water. If we can take and change the majority of our water, which is, or of our body, which is acidic waters, from acidic to alkaline, we have a much better chance of defeating or fending off the cancers, the illnesses, the diseases. It's these acidic drinks that cause our body to be more acidic. Now, there's also another aspect that causes the body to be extremely acidic, and that is the inability to digest foods that we consume. Indigestion. Is indigestion a problem in America today? Is it getting better or worse? Worse. It's getting worse. Why do you think that is? Any thoughts?
All of the acid.
All of the acid, okay. All of the acid from the waters that we're drinking. What are some of the others? If our food is not broken down or digested, what does the body have to secrete to start digesting it? Hydrochloric acid and enzymes, okay? But let me take you through a scenario and a process as to how the body is actually supposed to work. In a perfect scenario, we consume raw foods, fruits, vegetables, greens, grains, sushi, raw things like that. So all raw foods are packed full of enzymes. Enzymes are what digest those foods for us. So if we set any food out in the sun, let's say a banana, we cut a banana in half, we set it out in the sun, we come back 8 hours later. What's happening to that banana? It's getting rotten, getting soft, getting mushy, whatever you want to call it. Okay? It's because the enzymes literally started to digest and break those foods down. To do the same thing with an apple, a head of lettuce, other greens, whatever it is, we set it out there, that happens. Whenever you cook or process any food over 118 degrees, you kill every single enzyme in that food. So its ability to be digested is gone from the food. So let's set out there the same place we did that banana. Now let's set out there a Big Mac, a Whopper, okay? Some of those fast foods things that we talk about. Let's set out there a piece of white bread. Let's set out there a Twinkie. Let's put a pork chop. Let's put a chicken fried steak. Come back 8 hours later. Are those foods getting softer like the banana or harder? Harder. Why? No enzymes because we chose to cook them. Well, now, I know none of you in here eat that kind of food. We don't eat Big Macs and Whoppers and white bread and chicken fried steaks and things like that, or at least we're going to assume we don't, okay? So let's say then that you're the healthy group. You guys say, well, we don't eat those foods. So instead, let's put those foods out there that we do eat. We only eat grilled chicken breast. We only eat steamed vegetables. We only eat baked potatoes. We only eat grilled fish. Now, would you all agree those are healthy foods? Of course we would, okay? But they're cooked. So we set those foods out there. We come back 8 hours later. Is that chicken breast getting softer like the banana or still harder like the Big Mac? Still getting harder, right? See, so often in America, we have been conditioned to focus on the consumption of nutrients rather than the availability or usability, the utilization of the nutrients we're consuming. If you had the most balanced, perfect meal, but you put each and every bite of that meal in a little plastic baggie and swallowed the plastic baggie and it never broke open, how much nutritional value are you getting out of that healthy meal? Zero, okay? But yet you're putting healthy foods into the body. You are eating a healthy diet. Does anybody know someone that eats relatively healthy, but they're still overweight, eats healthy, but they're still high cholesterol, eats relatively healthy, but they don't have energy, eats healthy, but can't get rid of that last amount of body fat? Okay, we all know those kinds of people. It's not about consumption, it's about utilization. That is the key aspect that we are missing in America today. How many of you have ever taken a protein shake because you wanted to get bigger, faster, stronger? Anybody? Okay. Now, with that protein shake, let's just say that it's 30 grams. 30 grams of protein comes in. The average amount of protein from 30 grams, the average American's only going to be able to digest or break down approximately 15 of the 30 grams. So in comes 30. We only digest or break down 15. So how much does the body get to use for muscle growth? 15. Well, if you didn't get the results you wanted, next time, instead of 30, what are you going to eat tomorrow? 40, okay? Well, that still didn't work, so 50 and 60 and 80, and that keeps going up. But what have we done to the number broken down? We haven't changed it. It's still 15. Your body is only digesting or breaking down X. I don't care if you eat 15, 30, 100, 1,000, 10,000, you're still only able to utilize what you broke down. So what I teach my athletes and general population is we've been so conditioned to focus on the top number, which is consumption. Let's change that and focus on the utilization of the nutrients that we're consuming. The undigested portions of nutrient consumption is and does cause more damage than not having it at all. That is what causes an increase in acidity, an increase in the inability to digest, which is indigestion, acid reflux, heartburn. It's even got a disease named after itself now. GERDs, gastroesophageal reflux disease. See, here's what's supposed to happen. We consume those raw foods, the fruits, the vegetables, the grains. We chew it up, we swallow it. It sits in the upper portion of the stomach. The upper portion of the stomach surrounds it, warms it up. Those enzymes activate by a small secretion of hydrochloric acid. That acid is secreted. That acid activates the enzymes. The enzymes start breaking the food down, drops to the lower portion of the stomach. The stomach says, great, we've broken it down. We recognize the digested portions. We carry it throughout the body with the red blood cells. We deliver it. Energy is high. Metabolism is high. Reproductive system is functioning. Everything is working right. Flip side of that, though, in comes a cooked or processed food. Even the healthy stuff. Grilled chicken breast, baked potatoes, steamed vegetables. We chew it up. We swallow it. It sits in the upper portion of the stomach. The stomach secretes a little bit of hydrochloric acid to activate the enzymes. What is missing? The enzymes. So the body then says, it's not working. I better secrete a little bit more what?